I came to Sweden 32 years ago, in fact, and I spent the first 27 years in Stockholm. And then I was asked if I could come down to Malmoe 5 years ago, and I said fine. But I've been working for Opus Dei many years, and here in Malmö the last 5 years.
We haven't found yet a priest to interview, so you are actually the first one.
First, yes.
So, what does this mean for you as in your vocation as a priest that the Holy Father will come?
Well, I think it's a bit of a dream, because a couple of years ago, I think one of the newspapers said on the 1st of April the Pope is coming to Malmö, but now he's come here, and so it came as a big surprise, and we were a bit uncertain about how things were going to be, because at the beginning it seemed he would just be in Lund and then there would be this event here, but no mass. But apparently there's a lot of the priests in the deanery, they wrote to the Vatican to say, well, there's so many Catholics who would love to have a mass with the Pope, and so that's what we're preparing for tomorrow. And no, it's something quite special to have the Holy Father here in the place where one lives. So it's a big privilege for us. And
yes, you said you have been here for 35 years?
32 years in
32
Sweden,
years.
5 years in Malmö.
Then maybe you have experienced also that sometimes it feels very hard to evangelize. You don't make any progress sometimes, and I work with publishing, and
yes.
Sometimes it's like working in the outer space.
Well, I think there's a lot of that, but you have to be patient. You have to keep at it, and I've seen in my time here in Sweden that many things have changed. Both, I think there's a greater openness to the Catholic Church, while at the same time the whole question of secularity or secularism continues, or secularization, but that so many people don't seem to take so much of an interest in religion. And so it's a big challenge. How do you put across the faith to young people in a way that they can understand it? But at the same time, one of the things about Malmö specifically is that there's so many Muslims here, and that leads to a lot of Christians thinking, what am I? And on one occasion, I went along to one of the local schools here, one of the local Bernadotte Gymnasium, and to speak about the Catholic faith, the Catholic Church. And I knew that they had very little knowledge of the Catholic Church, so I gave them some questions to fill in. And one of the questions was, name 3 well-known Catholics, living or dead. And one of them wrote, the Pope, Hitler, and Stalin. So as far as the Pope was concerned, there was no problem. As far as Stalin was concerned, he was never a Catholic. As far as Hitler was concerned, he was a Catholic, he was baptized a Catholic, even confirmed, but he never lived as a Catholic, and I said, we disown him. And then one of the boys put his hand up, you disown Catholics, but why do people associate us Muslims with Osama bin Laden? And what I told him was the same thing that his teacher says to them. They have to show in their way of living that they want to live as good people, good Muslims. A good question. And then a bit later on, another boy asked, why is the Catholic Church against abortion? And I said, well, we regard the unborn child as a human person from the moment of conception. And the same Muslim boy nudged his neighbour, so as if to say, there you see. So they had the same views about abortion or defence of the unborn as we do. So I think there's an interesting field for the cooperation, not only with other Christians, but also with with Muslims and Jews, of course, and others.
According to a poll, there are only 16% of the Swedish population that find something that religion will mean something to them, something important. Do you believe in that?
I think my own impression is that very often it seems to be unimportant to them. That even now, even if there's a lot of interest in the Pope's visit right now, I think it's more because he's a public figure, a celebrity. But hopefully some of that will lead to people thinking a bit more deeply. Certainly I felt that the way he transmitted the message today was something which could appeal to many people's hearts, because he spoke in such a simple and straightforward way and speaking to the hearts of people that I think a lot of people will be impressed by that.
Last question. The word unity has mentioned many times today, and it will be maybe tomorrow as well. What expectations can we have for unity between the Lutherans and the Catholic Church?
I think we have to be aware, as they said today, aware of the similarities, the things that we have in common, but also aware of the differences, and not try to rush through things. What I am experiencing here in Malmoe is that there's, on the part of the Swedish Church, there seems to be a lot more openness to the Catholic Church. And earlier on this year, there was a big conference called Samhälle or Existence, on society and existence. And basically, it was to say that religion is playing a much greater role in society than beforehand. Most of the people there were members of the Swedish Church, but I received an invitation from one of the priests here in the Swedish Church to go along, and it was an interesting conference, and they're going to have a similar one next year on the theme of work and religion. So I think I can also say that I helped people from the Swedish Church to get 15 tickets for the Pope's Mass tomorrow. So that's practical ecumenism.